All right, you saw from the picture I'm going to show you here, this picture. Yeah, I got this notification as we were driving, and it started running a little rough at very low, basically throttle. So if heavy throttle or hard acceleration, it was just fine, but under very light, just enough to maintain your speed, it was actually starting to run a little rough. So I come up with the conclusion it's either going to be that, or I did stop and I was listening to the engine to see, and I did notice over on the passenger side here, a little bit of this is where the little miss or tick was coming from. So I'm going to charge the battery, but I need to get my scanner to somewhere and see about possibly I might have to replace the coil pack. All right, so we do have the little charger plugged in, so I'm going to let this go until it says it's topped off. But I did notice a little bit of corrosion around here, so we're going to have to get this taken off, cleaned up, and put some of the gel on there to keep that from happening again. So I let the battery sit on the charger overnight just to make sure. I did test it last night before and then this morning to make sure voltage were the same. It did hold voltage overnight, so that's good. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start using the tester. All right, USB is a little difficult to get to on these, but you get down underneath here with the light, you'll be able to see it up here in the back. So what we do is just get this plugged in. All right, that part's plugged in. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our key, put it in the car, but not start it, and just turn it to the on position. And here I'm showing you that, I just have the key turned on, and that's all. I don't have any of the controls. The climate controls are all turned off. Now I'm just showing you some of the OBD2 reader that I use and some of the settings going through here, and I'll show you the reading that it gives me. Codes. It should be the same. Yep, cylinder 1 misfire detected. All right, now I have two options here. What I can do is just go ahead and buy a replacement coil, or I can actually swap out 1 and 3 and see if the problem follows. If the problem follows, then I know it is the coil. If it doesn't follow, it's going to be something else. So I still got to figure out which I want to do yet, so we'll look at that here in a minute. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get the number 1 off the coil, so you can see, judging from the engine, you can come down here and you can see it down in here. This is the one I'm going to have to get taken off. So we're going to go ahead and get in there to that. All right, so we got the part out. It's actually really simple. There's a 10mm bolt you take out. Then on the clip, there's a little metal band you pull up on each side, and this just slides right off. So they're actually really easy to take off, but now I can actually get the part number and find another one for this. And this is the 10mm bolt, but I'm gonna hold on to that in case I need this for the new one. And you can see here what I'm talking about, the metal clip, and get the focus. All right, there you go. Now you can see the little metal clip that you have to pop up on each side. And once that pops up, this will just slide right off. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my multimeter and see if I can find any place that gives you readings on what these should be. And with the multimeter, I should be able to figure that out. All right, you can see I got the new part in. The one on the left here is the factory one. The one on the right is the new one. I already opened it up, and here's the box that we got it out of. So now we're gonna go ahead and get it installed. Probably would have been easier if I would have put this on before I put that in there. Okay, let's back it up and redo that. Okay, let's put the clip back on, piece back on. Get the boot over top the spark plug. Push till you feel the little, feel a little clunk kind of when it goes in. bolt back in here. You can see I'm doing this by hand so that way I can make sure it's threading in right. And it is threading in. It's in there pretty good. Ready? All right, so now we got this set up. We got the part installed. We're gonna go ahead and clear the codes. All right, so now we're gonna go to the light down. All right, got the engine running. Just gotta let it warm up now. I'll come back here when it warms up. All right, did some testing on these coils, and let me show you what I found out. I don't think this is going to be my issue. I think it actually is a spark plug. But these two are pretty close, because these are the ones, you can see from the numbers here, that these are the, well, front cylinder and then the second cylinder on the passenger side. But these three are the brand new ones, are almost identical readings, and the fourth one is way off. The only thing that's the same on this one is this reading here where I did B to C, which you can see this is how I have them labeled. So these are the readings I came up with. So what I'm going with is actually my coil pack is probably fine because I tried changing out with one of these other ones and it wasn't working right. So we're gonna go ahead and I got new plugs coming, but they're not here yet. All right, it's running nice and steady. Actually has no missing at all going on right now. Just been sitting here waiting for the engine to warm up. Let me go back and I'll tell you here what we did. All right, so we just finished up and actually had it running for a while just to make sure. You saw where I got it warm, make sure it was having no missing going on. It actually was not the coil packs, even though that's what it said and led me to believe was the coil packs. I actually pulled the plug. I pulled, both on this side just to test them, just to make sure. And this is what they looked like. All right, these are NGK plugs. You can see there. And I ended up checking this, and the gap on these, for some reason, is now at a 0.75 when it's supposed to be a 0.44 for these. I know all these because I gapped these. If you want, you can see the previous video for that. But these were gapped at 0.44 before, so I don't understand how they got to 0.75. So we went ahead and changed these out with new plugs. And don't forget, use your dielectric grease, especially when your boots, when you're putting them back over the plugs. All right, but that's it. It's all taken care of. I did get the corrosion cleaned off the battery and get that treated. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And if you learned anything, leave a comment below. If you could, give me a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe. Thanks.